Uh, in today's session, we are going to learn about data synchronization. Okay, before that, we have a small topic called secure agent grouping. So that we will discuss about that secure agent grouping, and then we'll jump back to the object synchronization. Okay. So, what is agent grouping? So, agent grouping is nothing but, so for example, if your organization has more than one secure agent and you want to tie up both the secure agents into a single group, so that in that case, what we will do is, for example, there are two missions. Okay, mission A is having secure agent A and mission B is having secure agent B. So both has been tied up to the same Informatica Cloud Arc. In this case, what we can do is we can group both the secure agents into a single group. So that what is the benefit of having grouping the secure agents is, for example, because of some XYZ reason, one of the agent goes down. In that case, uh, if we do not using the secure agent group, so what it will do is the jobs will run only uh, whatever that secure agent tie up to it. But because of some XYZ reason, if particular secure agent goes down, so that if the jobs will fail with errors throwing that no secure agent is available. To avoid these kind of errors, what we can do here is we can tie up both the agents into a single secure agent group. So whenever we are going to create the connection, what we can do here is, instead of selecting the secure agent, we can select the secure agent group. So that what will happen is, if secure agent A goes down, the load will be transferred to that secure agent B. In that way, all the times your jobs will be running fine without facing any downtime. Also, one of the most benefit of having this secure agent group is load balancing. As I told you earlier, so basically 4 jobs can be run at a time in Informatica Cloud with the basic licenses. In this case, what we can do is, if we are having more than one secure agent, okay, so that 8 jobs means 1 plus 1 secure agent, right? So each secure agent can run 4 jobs, so that you can increase the count to 8. Like that, if you increase the count number of secure agent to 3, you can increase the number of jobs running on the same time will be increased to 12. Also, one more thing is load balancing means, if one of the agent goes down, so other agents available in the particular group, it will share the load of that one and then it will run it. So this is the advantage of having the secure agent group. But uh, we cannot directly go for secure agent grouping. It is purely based on the license. Okay. Also, one more thing we need to remember before going to agent group is, both the folder structure in the agent A and agent B should be same, and the files related information should be synced up before we are going to use the secure agent A. For example, uh, we have a file called ABC in the agent here. So whenever the job running from ABC, from secure agent, it will access this ABC and it will run fine. For example, at the particular time, if secure agent goes down, it will the load will be sent to the agent B, but the particular ABC file is not available in the mission B, means it will fail. So in that case, what we need to do here is, we need to maintain the folder structure in the A and B, and we need to maintain the files both in both servers A and B, so that you can avoid the errors related to file not available, these kind of errors. Okay, so that is the reason we should be carefully think about to go to the secure agent grouping. Well, now that's it from the secure agent group. Okay, so this is a small topic, but it's a very powerful tool in the secure agent group. Now let's jump into the object synchronization. So what is object synchronization? We all know that, right? So everyone has a smartphone. In that smartphone, what we used to do is we will obviously we will sync up the information from all the um, accounts to the mobile phone. Means what we are going to sync up means every time we will sync up the contacts from accounts to our local system, like from Gmail or Facebook or whatever it may be. We sync up the uh, data between the accounts or different accounts to our mobile phone. Why we will sync up means we will have the data in cloud so that we don't need to store anywhere. For example, if you save the contact in the mobile, okay, so unfortunately if you switch to some other mobile you will lose the contact, right? So in that case what we will do here is we will save the contact as a Google contact so that whenever you switch to some other mobile phone also you can easily get that contact by using sync up the Gmail account in your new device. In the same manner, we are going to sync up the objects from one application to other applications. So why we need to sync up means every organization has two kinds of data system, like master system and billing system. So a master system is the where all the users who used to create the records. Whenever they create the records in the master system, so it should be available in the billing system. Why? Because if one person called to the customer care and if they ask some information, so they should be ready with the data which is available in the master system. That's why, so within immediately they are going to sync up the data between the master systems and billing system. Not only master and billing system, for example, nowadays we are using mostly Jira and ServiceNow as ticketing tools, right? So whenever someone has created some ticket in the Jira, so for the immediately we are syncing up the data between the Jira to ServiceNow. So like whenever they have updated some information in the ServiceNow, it should be available in the Jira. So like that, we should be ready with the data in all the application with the sync up manner. So that's why we are going to use the synchronization. So though we can do it by using the mapping also, the advantages with having the synchronization is it's a simpler way. Okay, so for example, in the Informatica Power Center, if we want to read a data from file and write into a file, so there you need to create the mapping. On top of that, you need to create the session. On top of that, we need to create the workflow. Then only you can run the workflow, right? But in the Informatica Cloud, it is a single one-step approach. Okay, just create a synchronization, select the source, select the target and run it. Here we don't need to create any sessions, you don't need to create any workflows or nothing like that. Okay, it's a simpler way. So in Informatica Cloud we do not have the concept called workflows. Directly you can create any task and you can run any task and you can automate the task and you can run at any time. That is the advantage of having the Informatica Cloud. So, while coming to the difference between the Informatica Power Center and Informatica Cloud, the object synchronization is one of the powerful tool which is available in the Informatica Cloud and which is not available in the Informatica Power Center. Okay, so before going to start the data synchronization, we will prepare some test data to read the data from source and write into the target environment. Okay, so I'm going to create some test file so that we can read the test file. Okay, in the source I'm going to create a test file. So I'm going to create a CSV file. Okay, so here emp id emp name department location salary. Okay, so we are going to create around 5 to 6 records. Now I'm going to save it as a CSV formatted one. So this is the data what we have created now. Okay, so I'm going to take this as source system and write into some other flat file. Okay, now I'm going to log into the Informatica Cloud account. So logging into the Informatica Cloud Arc. So this is the home page of the Informatica Cloud. So now we need to go to the data integration. Click on the new tab, and then in the tasks we need to select the synchronization task. So here it is giving the description. The synchronization task, what it will do is it will synchronize the data between the source and target to integrate applications, databases and files. So in Informatica Cloud, everything will be available here in the single task. Okay, here we are going to define the source, define the target. If you want to define any filter, you can define the filters and field mapping and schedule. If you want to schedule the job, here itself you can schedule it. So I'm going to name this task as data synchronization flat file to flat file. Okay, and here if you see here where you want to store this one, so by default it is creating under the default location. Instead of default location, I am going to store this in our training under A folder. Like that, wherever you want, you can create the tasks, and after creating somewhere, if you want to move to any other location also, you can move it by going to the particular object, and by selecting it you can move to anywhere. We know that in Informatica Power Center we have the data driven option, nothing but update strategy. Whatever the logic you have defined the update strategy, it will work and it will perform DD insert or DD update or DD delete or whatever it will be. But in Informatica Cloud we do not have the update strategy. So then if that is the case, how we can perform the insert or update or upsearch means in the task operation we need to select what kind of operation you are going to select. So for example, if you want to insert data into a file, you can select the insert, and if you want to update the data in application or any database, you can update it. But after choosing the target, so if you want to go to the write the data into the file, but if we select the update or upsert, it won't work out because we cannot perform the update or upserts in the file, right? In that case, what we can do is you can append the data if exists large. Okay, so I will explain how we can do that one also. For now we will go with the insert option. Okay, now connection. So from where you want to read the source data. Now I am going to read source flat file. And what is the object? Source object. Here I am going to use source sample source. Once you select that object, it will display the fields and some sample data which is available in the file. Okay, for example, if it is a database, you don't know access, if you do not have the access to the database, how you can check the all the columns available in the source means if you click on the preview all columns means it will download the source file means with some sample data. Let us see, it's waiting for download. So here so this is the sample data available. So as of now we have created only 9 records, that's why it has pulled all the data. But if we have huge volume of data but you cannot see all the data, in a sample file. You can see all the columns with only 9 records. Okay, that is the maximum number of records in the preview columns file, whatever you have downloaded from the Informatica Cloud Source object. Okay, so if we have 1,000 columns, it will show all the 1,000 columns information in the sample file, but it will show only 9 records by default. In this way, even though if you do not have the access to the source system, you can just check the what are all the columns available there. So here we have one more option, display the source fields in alphabetical order. If you select this one, so it will display all the columns in alphabetical order. Let us see how it is displaying. So here, see, this is the alphabetical order how it is showing. Okay, so if you remove that checkbox, so it will show the columns in order how the columns available in the source file. Okay, this is about the source. And here also, if you want to check the connection also directly, you can check your connection and you can update the connection properties, whatever you want you can update here itself. See here, if you this is the connection what we have created in the previous sessions at the data administrator. But if you want to update these connection properties, what you can do here is by simply click here edit, so that it will open the edit wizard of the connection and you can update the properties whatever you want. Like if you want to change the source directory, you can change it. If you want to change some code base or date format, whatever you want to change from here, you can change it here. Okay, after changing, what you can do here is you need to click OK, otherwise it won't save it. So if you want to change the connection properties and use the latest version of the connection, means what you need to do is you need to edit the connection and then you need to click the connection. See, if you hover to the OK, what it is showing is the save connection, and directly we are going to save the connection. If you click the cancel, means it won't take the changes whatever you have changes made at the data integration level. Okay, and the formatting options. So if you want to define the delimiter like a comma delimiter or a tab delimiter or colon delimiter, whatever it may be, if you are using some other pipe delimiter, so you can select other and you can define the, if you click on the other, so that what it will do here is you can provide the whatever the delimiter here, you can define it. So as of now we are going with the delimiter only. Okay, and the text qualifier, it's a whether it is a double quote, single quote, none. Okay, as of now we'll go with the double quotes. Okay, or else if you want to create the connection here itself, what you can do here is you can click on the new, so it will hover to the new connection page. Okay, and then here itself we can create what type of connection you want to create. Here itself we can create it. That's about the source space. Okay, so keep in mind that you need to save most of the time, because if you lost the network connectivity, so that you will lose whatever the work you have done so far. So here we do not have the auto save option. Okay, so it is throwing error, so select the target, that's right. So as of now we do not selected any target, right? That's why it is throwing error. Let's go to the target. So I'm going to select my target connection, whatever we have created so far. So the target connection selected for the synchronization task has no associated object. Select a different target option. What is the meaning of this one is, as of now we do not have any target file there. But if it is a if you selected the source as any of the application, means here itself you can create the target object at runtime. Okay, for now we do not have the target, right? So what we can do here is we can create the sample target there. Okay, so we are at source, right? So I'm going to copy the same thing to the target. I'm going to keep it here and I'm going to rename it as a sample target, and then I'm going to remove the data which is available here. Here now we are ready with the target object also. Now I'm going to my Informatica Cloud page and I'm just refreshing my objects here. So if you select some other object, other connection, so that it will refresh entire thing. Okay. Now I'm going to select the target connection so that it will refresh all the objects available there. After that, here you can select sample target. Here also you have the same option called display the target field in alphabetical order. So if you want to see all the fields in the alphabetical order, you can select here so that it will display the columns available in the target system in an alphabetical order. Okay, so for now we don't need this alphabetical order, we will go it as it is. And the data filters. Okay, so what you can define in the data filters. So if you want to process, for example, if the source has millions of records, but you don't need all those records, you just want to process only the first 100 records or 1000 records or 10,000 records, you can select the process only the first option, and then you can go. As of now we do not have more than 100 records, right? That's why it is not allowing us to select this one. So by default the process only the first option will be the 100. So if we have more than 100 records and if you want to process only first 100 records, so that you can just enable it. So as of now we are going to process all those. Also if you want to define any custom filter like only employee ID 1, if you want to load it, so that yeah you can give the filter over here. So that as of now we will just load all the records from source to target, and then we will implement the data filter. Okay, now I am going to the field mapping. So like in the Informatica Power Center, we should map at least one field from the source to the target. So if you observe here, automatically the field mapping was happened, because if the source and target field names are same, by automatically it will map the fields. But if you want to map the fields by manual, what you can do here is you can clear the mapping, so that here uh, you can map whatever the field you want to from source to the target. Like this you can map it. Okay, so here we have two more things. So if you want to perform some lookup on any other object, get the data which is related to particular information, means you can perform the lookup. Like in the Informatica Power Center we have lookup transformation, right? It will work in the same manner. And also if you want to perform some expression, you can use. So we can implement this logic in the next one. Okay, so for now we will go with some uh, basic field mapping. Okay, also here we have one more thing, validate the field mapping. So after mapping it, you to make sure whether the field mapping is valid or not, you can validate the field mapping so that it will show the field mapping is valid and has no error, so that you can ready to run the job. Okay, also here we have one more concept. Okay, so add maplet. What is the add maplet? So if you have a maplet created in the power center, if you want to use that maplet here, you can import the maplet and you can add that maplet here, so that in that case how it looks like is from source to the maplet input and maplet out to the target, you can do the field mappings. Okay, as of now we are going with a plain field mapping and we are going to run the field mapping, and I'm just saving the task. And next is the scheduled page. So here you can assign any schedule and like a workflow level properties. You can session level properties, like if you want to perform any failure email notification. For example, by default I'm going with the organization level, but if you want to send a specific email notification to the particular person, for example, if this task get failed, if you want to send to the ABC person this email notification, what you can do is you can mention that email detail here for failure email notification, for warning, and for successful email notification, like that. So by default I'm going with an organization level email notification. And here you have two more options, like do not run this task on a schedule, means you are going to run this task manually. If you want to run this task on a schedule manner, is you can create a schedule and assign that schedule here, so that it will run as per the schedule. Okay, one more option here, we have run this task in real time upon receiving an outbound message from the Salesforce. So when this option will be enabled means, if you choose the source as a Salesforce connection, by the time you can go with this option. So basically what it means, so if someone has created any record or updated any record in the Salesforce side, automatically this data synchronization task will be triggered and it will be load into the target system without any human intervention. So I will explain how we can make this option, okay, in further sessions. For now we are just going with the manual option. Okay, and there are pre-processing command and post-processing command. Likewise, in the Informatica Power Center session, we have the pre-session commands and post-session commands, right? Like that, here we can define the pre-session commands and post-session command. And the parameter file. So if you want to read any data from the parameter, so that you can define the parameter file and you can uh, define the parameter file here and you can get the data from the parameter. So in further session I will explain how you can go with the parameterization, everything. Okay, and maximum number of log files. By default, Informatica Cloud will generate the 10 log files for each and every job. If you run the job after 11th time and 12th time, means it will override the first and second, like that. So first it will create 1 to 10, and then how it will work out means, if you run the 11th time, what it will do is it will override the first session file. So if you want to have more number of log file, means you can increase the log file to here 20 or 30, whatever it may be, but you should have sufficient space in your where in the server where it is going to create the log files. Okay, so now I'm going with the default values and run it. So before that I'm saving it, and now I'm going to run this job. Now we are ready to run the data synchronization task. So where you can see your jobs. Okay, as of now you only run this job, right? So here itself in my jobs you can see the your jobs whatever you have created, but as of now I did not run, I just saved it, right? So I'm going to run this particular job. Here you don't need to create any sessions and workflows, directly you can run the job. Okay, so once you click on the run job you can go to the my jobs, and here you can see the whatever the jobs you ran. Also you can see the jobs or organization level jobs in the monitor. So after finishing out this one I will show you how to see all the jobs which are running in the organization from the monitor. Okay, see, we have 9 records in the source and we have loaded successfully the 9 records into the target. So if you want to see the statistics, so you just need to click on the particular instance name so that here itself you can see. So from the source we have received 9 records, and the target we have loaded 9 records. Okay, so for example, if you run the job 100 times, so what it will do is it will create the instance number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that till upon 100. So if you want to check the statistics of the particular instance, you just need to go to the particular instance and click on here so that it will open the particular instance statistics. So if you want to check the session log, so what how it went, and so you can download the session log directly from here and you can check that one. So it will download to your local PC so that you can see the log. When the log will helpful means if something went wrong and if some errors throws means by the time you can it will be very helpful by using the session log. You can check the details. Okay, so here see we can see the target source target properties here. See, requested 9 records, applied 9 records, and rejected 0 records, and affected 9 records. Let's go to our target file and let us see whether data has been loaded or not. So I'm going to the target. So this is our target file. I am going to open the target and let us see whether data has been loaded or not. See, the data has been loaded from source to the target. This is about the basic data synchronization job. Okay, now let's go with some complex thing. So what is that complexity means? So in the source we have the first name, last name, and you need the full name in the target. So how you can implement that logic in the data synchronization. And also you want to filter out the data, means you don't want all the source data from the source to the target. You want to filter the data based on some value on the column. For example, let me go to the source directory. So if you want to filter out the data only the locations Hyderabad, so that you can pull only the records which are falling under the Hyderabad location, like that you can create the filter criteria. So for now here we have only employee name, right? So I'm going to edit the file with the first name and last name. Okay, first name, and I'm going to make one more column here, last name. Okay, so this is my source file, and now I'm going to read this data and write it to a target file with the full name header. have to make this column as a full name. Let me recheck whether it has been saved or not. See here, full name. Okay. So now I'm going to create one more fresh data synchronization task where we are going to apply the filters and doing some expressions. So data synchronization task, flat file to flat file with filters, filter and expression. Okay. So task operation, what I'm going to do here is insert. So I'm going to choose the source connection and source object, and here itself we can see all the fields. See here, employee ID, first name, department, location, salary, and you cannot see the last name, right? So if you download that one, you can see all the columns available here. Okay. Now I'm going to select my target connection. If it is a mapping, there we have a option called append effect, so that we can if you want to store each and every time whatever the data you have written to the target system, you can keep all the data in the target level, but in the data synchronization we do not have that option. Okay, so while I'm going to explain about the data synchronization mapping task, I will explain how we can enable the append if exist option. So here I am going to give the filter criteria. Here we have, first we need to select the object and employee ID or whatever the location. So I'm going with the location. So location equals to HYD. It's a case sensitive. So for example, if we give some HYD as like this, and if we do not have the data in the source, for example, the source, we have the location as capital H small y small d, but here we have provided as a capital HYD. Let us see how it goes. And also at the field mapping level, I want to load the full name. Okay, how I can do that means we can just with the concatenation. So I'm going to drag and drop the first name as well as the last name to this one. So by default, how it work out means Informatica Cloud automatically will implement a logic cloud concat function. See, concat of first name comma last name. So in that way it will come here. Or else if you want to implement some logic means you can go here at the expression level and you can define whatever the you can use whatever the functions you want. Okay, now I'm going to string and I'm going to concat function. In the all function you can see the functions available there. So I'm going to use the concatenate function. Concat first name comma last name. So after doing that, if you want to validate your logic, so what you can do is just validate it, so that it will show whether this function is valid or not, whether this expression is valid or not. After that, if you click on OK, it will store that. Okay. And if you want to perform any lookup on any other object and get the data, you can use the lookup option here and get the object, but you cannot perform the lookup because you have already mapped one expression. So if you want to perform some lookup means first remove that expression and then click on lookup, so that here it will show. So what is the lookup connection and what is the lookup object, what is the source field, what is the lookup field, and what is the output field you are expecting from this one, and what is the multiplicity means if you want to throw error if you get more than one result, or if you want to throw, if you want to select only first record or randomly pick one, something like that, you can define the properties whatever you want here. Okay, so for now I'm going with a simple expression and the filter. Okay, and next, so I'm not going to do any options here, just finish it so that it will save it. After that I will run this job. So now I'm going to run this particular job. So once you run the job, where you can see here is in my jobs folder, you can see whatever the jobs you ran. If you want to see all the jobs whatever you have run so far means, you can just remove this filter so that it will show all the jobs run. So if you observe here, it has read 9 records from the source, but it did not pass any record to the target because no record is matching with the filter criteria with the capital H, capital Y, capital D. So because of that, it did not process any records to your target system. Let's go there and let us update that filter criteria with the exact one. Okay, so I'm going to the data filters and I'm going to update that with H small y small d, so that we have 2 records in the source. It will process those 2 records H y d. Okay, I'm going to finish it. Now I'm going to run this job. So you can go to your my jobs and then you can see so it has processed 2 records. So from the source it has read 9 records and processed only 2 records. So why it has processed 2 records means we have given the data filter as a HYD, so that it has processed only Hyderabad records to our target system. Let us see. Let's go to the target file and let us see what are all the records it has processed, whether it has processed the proper records or some junk records. See here, in the full name it has concatenated both of. Let me open the source also. See, in the source we have the first name as A and last name as D, and it has concatenated both A and D and write into uh, target as a full name as A comma D, and the location is HYD. And for the second record, where is that second HYD here? It is F is the first name and W is the last name, and we have concatenated both the F and WE and brought into the target system as FWE. So like this you can implement whatever the simple logics or expression or filters you can define here. But if you want to define more complex logic, like if you want to implement some aggregations, in that case you can go with the mapping designer. There you can utilize whatever the transformations available in the mapping, and then you can run it. Okay, so when to go with the data synchronization means, if you do not have the much complex logic and if you want to perform minimal level operations at the field level, means you can perform these kind of minimal level expressions. And if you want to filter out the data, you can do in the data synchronization. If you want to perform some lookups, so that you can do apart from the expression, filter, lookup. If you want to do some extra logic, you should not go with the data synchronization, because in the data synchronization we do not have any other transformation available. Okay, so only expression, a lookup, and filter transformations you can use in the data synchronization and load the data into a target environment. Apart from this, if you want to if you want to use the router transformation, or if you want to use the Java transformation, or else if you want to use some web services transformation, what you can do here is you can choose the mapping. There you can define whatever the logic you want. Okay, in such a way we need to decide which task we need to go for, whether data synchronization or mapping. It depends on the complexity of the logic you are going to build on this one. This is about the data synchronization task. This is the sample data synchronization task. Okay, in the next session what we will do is we will read the data from the Salesforce object and write into your file system. Okay, so for that, first we need to create the Salesforce connection. Okay, I will show you how to create the Salesforce connection in Informatica Cloud, and how to read the data from the Salesforce and write into our target system. Okay, and this is about the data synchronization.